Mrs. Danielle DeVita back with another video. I overheard someone say that marriage is overrated. A lot of women say, I like the strong silent type. Well, a lot of men like the feminine silent type. And for sure, it's going down. So a lot of times people are not getting the value. When to speak and when to be quiet is one of the most powerful. She's going to be aggressive, thinking that. And as someone who's been married for 12 years, she's driven, not lazy. And this will make yourself and get on the right path. That understand that you might be doing a disservice to your daughter. If you don't help her understand vetting and proper decision making, now she's going to be a basket case later. If you don't help her understand emotional intelligence, she's going to hold on to a lot of emotional baggage. If you don't. We live in a world where femininity, marriages, family, and courting is no longer valued. We live in hookup culture, situationships, and struggle love. The number one reason women struggle in long-term relationships, number one, femininity, and number two, staying in a relationship or entertaining people longer than the woman should. My name is Danielle DeVita, and I'm a relationship and femininity coach. I've been married for 12 years, and I want to help you get on your feminine journey and vet for the right man today. For more of my content, you can visit MrsDanielleDeVita.com, or you can go to YouTube, Instagram, or my Facebook page. Get on your feminine journey today. Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Danielle DeVita. I am a relationship and femininity coach, and my goal is to help both men and women vet and find the person that they deserve. My goal is not to have you lower your standards, but increase your qualifications. I always talk about people try to qualify for the job they want, but they don't like to qualify for the type of person that they want to be with. So I'm trying to help you be the best version of yourself. That's what I'm here to do, and help you hold yourself accountable. so you can make better decisions and be the best version of yourself. So today we are talking about something. Peace to you, Daniel. How are you doing? So I'll be looking at both cameras, YouTube, Facebook over here, Instagram here. So today we're going to be talking about a topic that, it kind of circulates around social media more so with talk, you hear in social media about women hitting the wall. And we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But do men hit the wall? So this is what we're going to talk about. And I have some statistics. So I will have some statistics to talk about this wall. If you don't know what the wall is, it's this theoretical biological clock that women, and we're going to talk about if men have it, where if a woman is getting to, a woman is when she's at her prime, she's her most beautiful. When she's in her 20s, she's at her prime. And so a lot of a woman's worth is towards her attraction level. And this is out on the dating market. So a lot of times you hear, instead of attraction, you may hear her sexual market value, things like that. And this will take into account her weight, her genetics, and things like that. And if she's fertile, because typically women, when they get around 35, it is an area where they have infertility issues. So we know about this particular wall where a woman's prime, her beauty starts to change when she gets mid-30s. Her fertility level changes. And we're going to talk about a little something else of what this wall is for women. And then we're going to move to men. A lot of women so men, they view a woman's beauty, her fertility, right? But a lot of women today in the modern world, like to view her financial peak as the turning point for them, which is why you see a lot of women in their 30s or in their 40s and they're looking to get married, but they're very successful in their career, but now they're looking to get married because they were not looking at their fertility or their prime as far as attraction. They were looking at their financial. So a woman's financial peak is typically in her 30s. And actually, to be more exact, at age 44, a woman's financial peak, and this is jobs other than legal, her financial peak is 44 years old, making $66,000 a year. In the legal field, her financial peak is 35, and that's making $75,000 a year. And then I think this is a 2019 survey. And men's financial peak is 55 years old, making $101,000 and $168,000 in the legal world. So this is the financial peak. And for African Americans, they're going to be on the lower end, with women being 61,000 and men being 80,000 a year. So this is the salary. This is the financial peak. So a lot of women view their financial peak as this turning point, which is why you see a lot of successful women now, if they didn't take the time to look at fertility issues and marriage, all of those things, then they kind of they're moving towards hustling and getting where they need to be financially. And I'm all about women's empowerment. I am a woman who has gone after her dreams, so I am that woman. But I believe that there's a balance. So there's nothing wrong with you wanting to get your career on, but I do believe there's a balance. And sometimes because women do not view this balance, they are at what we call this theoretical wall. They have the money, but they have no family, no children, no husband, and things of that sort. So that's that. The question is there a wall for men? Is there a biological clock for men? And I have some surveys that will back some of these things up that I am saying. So Stingy said yes, but much later than women do. Women start approaching it in their 30s while men start approaching it in their 50s. You're exactly right. And we're going to have some statistics to back some of these things up. Now, I do want women to understand that your beauty, especially in our community, your beauty could last longer. It may not fade at 35. It may fade at 40 and things like that. So, and this is for women who are in the dating market. We're talking about women who are out on the dating market, because it really won't matter if you're married, because if you're married and have children, you've already, the person that you're with, you've already use your womb to carry a child, and they've got to be with you at your prime, hopefully. So many women are fertile in their 20s and 30s, but they've done it with the wrong guy. So now when you're ready to settle down with this great guy, this is where these guys are telling you you've hit the wall. And again, I'm not saying you've hit the wall. I am the messenger saying this is what men are saying. So I'm not bringing up this wall. I didn't create this wall. This is what men are saying. So I'm here asking the question, do men hit the wall? And I've done some digging and research on my own. Before we do that, let me talk about being overweight, because for a lot of men, the attractive level for women, whether it's in our community or not, it's weight. And weight determines attractiveness. And I can tell you firsthand, because when I gained weight, I looked different. When I was pregnant, I looked different. And let me explain the biracial background, what this weight is, especially since in our community, we talk about women's weight often. Let's talk about men's weight. And then does that factor into this wall? So according to a survey, I think this was a 2017 survey, 41% of Black men are overweight. 41% of Black men are overweight. 56% of Black women are overweight. 56%. 44% white men, 39% white women. Hispanic men, 45%, 43% Hispanic women. Asians are equally 17% across the board between both genders. So it is prevalent in the Black community. It is more so Black women. But I say this to say it's not just Black women, because we hear about Black women being overweight. Oh, they're big. 56% of Black women are overweight. And this includes obesity. So overweight and obese. 41% of Black men are overweight. Does this count into a man's wall? I would say no. And the reason why is because I know many women women want attractive men, but there are men who are overweight that can get women all the time. So I don't think that the weight itself, maybe on a high level of obesity, yes, but just being overweight, I don't think it affects it as much as women, because women are looked at more in a visual and aesthetic way. So their wall is going to be based off of that. Whereas men being overweight is not going to affect their attractiveness level. But I will tell you that it is going to be financial. And it is going to have, and let me tell you, there is some fertility issues with men. So before we do that, let's finish talking about obesity really quick, because the dating market is usually in the 20s, right? So from age 20 to 39, and this is across the board, not broken down in race, 40% of men are overweight across the board between all races, between age 20 and 39. 40% men are overweight. 39% of women are overweight. So it's just about the same. In a 2018 survey across the board in the United States, a little bit over 1 in 3 women. So that's 34% of women are overweight. 1 in 4 men are overweight. So 27% roughly. 1 in 3 adults total. So that's about 30% of people in the US in general are overweight. So obesity is a problem. Overweight is a problem. And if for women, it especially is a problem because women are looked at on the attractiveness level, their aesthetics, men are visual. So it is going to affect women, but it doesn't affect men. But there are some two things that can affect men: fertility. And it says, so you guys can look this up too, because there is a lot of studies being done that a man's fertility does go down sometime between age 45 and 55. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys know what that reason is. The testosterone levels are decreasing. Men have medical issues, health issues that could affect fertility. As you can see, obesity being one, diabetes, which is a medical condition. This is why if they do have a child, sometimes that child may have some type of disformity, Down syndrome, autism, things like that. They say that it factors in. with that. But again, that's from age 45 to 55. And the biggest part is erectile dysfunction. So I think a man, his ability to please women can add to this wall. His ability to please women. Most women, and I know, so there's men that saying that there's two things that I'm hearing. Some men saying there's no wall, period. And then others are saying there is a wall, but at birth. And then that wall starts to become invisible as a man progresses in life. So what I'm saying is the wall is determined by the opposite gender. And for women, women want a man who is able to provide, protect, and put it down, which is pleasing a woman. So if you have erectile dysfunction, that can affect a woman, because if you're an older guy, she's going to want you to either be able to put it down or provide money. So you're probably going to need to do either one. The number one thing is going to be to provide. So a man who has money and access, that can determine one, his looks, that can determine his confidence and things like that. But erectile dysfunction affects some men's confidence, his masculinity, how he reacts and interacts with other women. So I think that's going to be a big thing, because a lot of men aren't just going to be having a lot of money. I already said earlier, the peak for a man's financial ability is at 100,000. Everyone's not going to hit that. We're talking about the peak, and that's around age 55. So men do have a longer time to be able to get themselves together. So if you're someone in your like 35, you have what, about 20 more years to get it together. I think the wall comes, to men when they are not excelling. So their status, whether it's status on occupational level, their status in the community, status with women, that status, if it's not progressing, if their financial power or their earning power is not progressing, then that becomes an issue. Because you can't tell me no men have a wall. So the homeless guy that has nothing, he's the bum, he doesn't have a wall. So there is a wall. And to be honest, that wall usually has to have some type of financial issue to it. If a man, no matter really how he looks, if he's got some type of status, some type of financial power, then his wall is almost invisible. The guy who is not doing something with his life, that is the guy who's getting closer to the wall. But if you're a guy who's doing something with your life, even if you're not there yet, because most men aren't there until middle age or just past middle age. So the money is going to help you get the look that you want, to be more distinguished. But a man's financial power, his wisdom, all of those things factor in to this wall. And again, like I said, even with because fertility this fertility issue, this biological clock for men doesn't really affect them until they get closer to 55. They hit their peak financially around 55. They are hit their status of where they want to be in life in that time period. So their wall is towards old age. But can men hit the wall earlier? Can men do that? If you're a man listening, is it possible that if a man his trajectory is not, going towards success, does that mean he's getting closer to the wall? Or can he reverse what's happening? If he's not doing well right now, he's 35, is there opportunity to, make a career change or do something so he can progress and be successful in life? Or is it like with women? Because with women, if a woman takes care of herself, she's most likely can stay beautiful longer. She could potentially have children at a later age in life. She could potentially still get where she needs to be financially in life. Although in the dating world, a woman's financial capacity doesn't really matter as much, especially for the person that is traditional. If she's trying to be with someone traditional, they won't care about that. But a woman starts to reach her peak towards her mid 30s, towards the end of her 30s, right? But a man is just getting revved up. When he gets 55, is where he's just hit the peak. So he won't be going to a decline anytime soon. So the question is it possible that if a guy is not on the right track, if he's not getting himself together by mid-30s, by 40, is it possible for him to have a career change and do what he needs to do? Let me know. Place a comment in. You can also click the link, and with that link, you will get on StreamYard. Instagram, you can request to join. You can also call 813-816-1813, 813-816-1813, 813-816-1813. Is there a wall for men? Is there a wall in the beginning at birth, and then that wall slowly, becomes invisible as he continue to become more successful, get more status in life, get more money in life, get himself together in some way? Or was there no wall to begin with? Or will the wall start to come if he doesn't, have the trajectory to move up in life? Because there's some men who's throwing their life away. They really are not doing anything with their life, and there's no way that there's no wall for them. And I know a lot of women aren't going to know if a guy has ED until after the fact. So I don't even know if fertility fully affects a man as much as it is his earning potential, his status in life. I don't even think a guy could just call himself high valued, high caliber, the prize and this and that, unless someone has told him. When I say someone, more than one people have made it clear that, let's see here. Someone has made it clear that he is a prize, that he is someone. Let me see. So let's take a look at this again. Let's see. Let's take a look at this again. Overweight. Black men are overweight 41%, Black women 56%. For women, this is going to be an issue. For men, not so much. Because how many men who have money that are overweight? So you mean to tell me you'd pass up a millionaire because he's not weighing what you want? No, I don't think that's it. Would you pass up on a man who's not giving to you how he wants? He just takes the pill. As long as he has a financial earning, as long as he has some status in life, it seems like the wall for him, for a man, would be money and status. Let's take a look here. Fish sticks. I believe there is a wall for a man much sooner if he's not ambitious enough. Okay. So if he's not doing anything in life, he can get this wall sooner. Thank you. Just showing you love. Keep up the excellent work. Thank you. I appreciate it, Brian. Really appreciate it. So I agree. Fish sticks. If he's not ambitious enough. What age does a man need to get on track? Someone let me know. What age does a man need to get on track before that wall comes? Could he be 40 and get himself together? Could he be 35 and make a turn in his life? Could he be 38? Or is it too late? What age? Because for a woman to retain her beauty, she can't just say, oh my God, I'm 35. I need to, start doing facials and start doing my hair and doing this. It may be too late if she's not careful with what she eats, what she drinks, how she takes care of her skin. There's a time period. So for men, what is it, guys? What does a man have to do to show that, I don't want this wall to come? Does he need to get himself together by 35? Is 35 the mark? Because I do know it takes a while to get into a career and really excel and get the status that you need. Let me know. Let me know. Let me take a look at this really quick. I just need to I forgot to put the number in here, guys. Sorry. Give me a quick second. All right. Sorry about that. There's a number if you do want to call in. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, you can automatically see it. But again, I do believe that there is a wall for men. Why am I asking this question? Because some men believe they don't hit the wall. So does that mean that if he doesn't believe there's a wall coming, he's not going to put in any effort? Or do men know automatically without there being a wall, he just needs to have some earning power? Now, when I say financial power, I'm not saying every man needs to be making over 100,000. I'm saying this is a man's peak. So let's look at the survey again. Financial peak for men. 55 at the age of 55, a man's financial peak is 101,000. All men, no matter what race. If it's an African American man, it's 80,000 is usually his peak. In the legal field, 56 years old, the peak will be 168,000. And this is a survey that was done in 2017 through PayScale. So a man could potentially get his peak sooner or later in life, but he has all the way to 55 to get where he needs to be. But to get there, usually someone is to get to this amount of money, you need to at least put in more than 5 years at a job, at least almost 10 years. So if that to get to this amount of money, unless you have a particular set of skills, and this is a job that requires a certain degree. But to do this, I'm going to assume that this guy is probably had at least 10 years on a job. So if 55 is the peak, 45, he could change a career, and at 45, do what he needs to do. So by 40, a man does need to know where he wants to be in life, has some type of particular set of directions. But most men want to make sure they're doing this by the time they're in their 30s. That's why it's important for men to grow up so they can know where they're headed in life. Because there is a wall. Whether you believe it or not, women have placed a wall, and that wall is your finances. So sorry that women treat you like a wallet, men, but that's true. Men are in the traditional sense are viewed as providers, right? So I don't think a man's attractiveness factors in. Fertility, erectile dysfunction could play a role in it, but there's a wall. And we're talking about these people out on the dating market. If you're married, I mean, the only thing that matters in is the person that you're with, as far as your financial ability, or for women, for your looks. So for me, being married, my attractiveness would go towards what my husband thinks, not what any of you all think. None of that will matter what you all think, because I won't be marrying you guys. I won't be dating you all. My fertility, I mean, I've had 3 children with my husband. So is there a wall? Yes. Is there a wall for men and women? Yes. What is this wall? A biological clock. And it's a time where your body is saying it's time to either, to have children, to settle down. Not to say that you can't do what you need to do, get your earning power as a woman. And for men, not to say that, you settling down is to forego your earning potential, but it's to say that this is the turning point where most people are becoming family people, family man, family woman. And you have to balance your personal life, your work life, and home life. A lot of people don't want to balance that. It's just work, 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 work. And some people is just home life, but no work. So this is all I wanted to go over with you. Is there a wall? And what can we do to avoid the wall? Fished it, said it. Become ambitious if you're a man. For women, ours is to preserve our beauty and make sure that we use our fertility for the men that's deserving of our womb. Ages 20 to 30, I'll say that. So pretty much all in your 20s, I would make sure that you preserve your womb for someone who's deserving of it. Preserve your beauty and be with people who's worthy of you being in your prime. Don't waste your youth, your prime on someone who's undeserving. Yeah, that's what I would say. But for men, if women are not someone, like if you're not interested in settling down, hustling is what you're going to need to do. Being ambitious is what you're going to need to do to make sure that you don't hit a wall, because you providing, your earning power is going to be what prevents the wall from you all. Again, I know some men don't believe in the wall for men, but there is a wall, and it has a financial amount to it. And that amount is whatever it takes for you to provide in your city, I guess, whatever it takes for you to provide for yourself and for your woman, and then however many children that you do want to have. A man does not need to make $100,000 a year. What he needs is to make enough money to provide for himself and the woman he wants to be with, and if he wants children. That's the man's earning power, the ability to provide for what it is that he wants, where he is living. So a man who has a certain earning power in Florida may not have the same earning power in New York or California or Houston or wherever else. So you need whatever it is that you need to make it where you are for both you and your family. All right. So I am going to end the live soon, but I wanted to talk a little bit. I wanted to play this joke that I have here, because I just think the joke is so funny. And then I'll go. Just give you guys something to laugh about on your way out. It's a joke about, women are looking for all types of men, and this until it gets to the end, and there'll be no men left for them. So this is going to be a joke because a lot of men are already here, already earning the power, have their earning power, doing what they need to do, but women think that there's something better out there. So I'm going to play this joke and then we'll head out. If you still want to make a phone call, you can definitely do that in the meantime, or we'll move to the next live.
Anybody heard about the new store in New York City? It's called the Husband Store. And you can go there and shop for a husband. There's 6 floors in this store. You can only visit each floor one time, though. And each floor you go up, the value increases. You may choose any item from any particular floor, but you can go up a floor, but you cannot go back down. So there was a woman who went to the husband store to find herself a husband. On the first floor, the sign on the door read, "These men have jobs." That sounded good. These men have jobs. Floor 2 says, "These men have jobs and love kids." Floor number 3 said, "These men have jobs, love kids, and are extremely good looking." Wow, she thought, this is sounding pretty good, but I'm compelled to go on to the next floor. Well, she does go to the 4th floor, and the sign reads, "These men have jobs, love kids, are drop-dead good looking, and they help with the housework." "Oh, mercy me," she said, "I can hardly stand it." Still, she said, "I've got to go on." She went to the 5th floor. "These men have jobs, love kids, are drop-dead gorgeous, help with the housework, and have a very strong romantic streak." But she couldn't stand it. She decided she had to just find out what was on floor number 6. Floor number 6 said, "You are visitor 31,456. To this floor, there are no men on this floor. This floor exists solely as proof that women are impossible to please."
Okay. So I really like that joke. I think it's funny because there are men out here that are still on the rise. So if you've seen a few of my videos, I talked about how you can date potential. And I do believe you can. And when I say potential, this is a man that He knows his potential, not you know his potential and you're trying to make him great. But this is a man who already sees himself as awesome, already sees himself as great, and he's ambitious enough to, skyrocket his career, move to the next step. And this is a guy who he knows he has earning potential. And you see it as well, because a lot of women like to be there when the guy has already made it, but not when he's on his way. And I'm saying you're not helping him get on his way. He's helping himself, but you're there in the beginning. And because most of the time, like I said, 55 is the guy's financial peak. If you're meeting a guy at 30, 35, why does he need to be already here when he has plenty of time to build status in his occupation and in the world and build his network? And we need to understand that if we are going to be dating out here, well, not me because I'm married, but if you're going to be dating out here, you have to understand that there is a peak that a man reaches, and that's not going to be until 55. So if you're looking for this man, you are most likely going to hit the wall before he hits the wall. So it's best that you, while you're in your prime, you get the guy that you do see that he has earning potential. He has some type of earning power that he is building up himself. Not that you're building up for him, but he's building up for himself. So a lot of women, if you listen to the joke, these women are just moving on to the next man like there's somebody better, but you keep passing people over because you're looking for the thing, the microwave guy, the guy right here, right now, in their 30s, just booming. Well, that guy is an exception to the rule. He's reached a peak early. And the question is, are you an exception to the rule? Is there something you're doing to meet that qualification for that type of guy? Because if not, you'll be like all these other women on the 6th floor waiting for that guy, but your time has passed. You've hit the highest floor. You've hit your wall. And every woman's wall may be different, but the goal here is not for you to hit your wall. The goal here is for you to be your best, and in your prime, you get with the guy who already knows his worth and knows his own earning potential. So then as you get older, you're not struggling to get to some financial ladder so you can build some status for yourself. No, you are building some other type of richness that a lot of people do not have. A beautiful family. A lot of people, they do want family. They just put their financial success first, but they do eventually want that family. The question is, are you willing to balance that? Are you willing to, in your prime, get with a guy who you know is going to have this financial peak? Not the bum, not the guy who's not doing nothing, not the guy who's only worrying about his looks, but the guy who knows he has earning potential and he's working for it. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to go. So I met my husband we were 21, and he did a career change because the job he had at the time was making pretty decent money, but he said, this is not something I can see myself doing for the rest of my life. I need to find a career. So he moved into banking. And from there, he has built status. He has built quite the resume, quite the track record. And so today we are here, almost 15 years later. Imagine how much, he has on his resume for all those years, all of that earning potential, all of that earning power. So no, he's not going to hit that wall because he's only moving up in potential. He's moving up in wisdom. And that's what I want for you all. So this is why this wall is important. Of course, it's this theoretical wall. It's not to make anyone feel bad, but it's to help you to realize the reality that everyone has a biological clock. And for women, it is a lot sooner. And we need to stop waiting till we think we're only looking at this financial peak, but we have other things that are going to be deteriorating soon, which is our looks. Our looks are going to fade. It's inevitable. Even if you look good in your 50s, even if you look like Vivica Fox and Lisa Ray, things are going to be different. Your fertility is going to be different. The type of guy you want is different. So understanding that, meeting the qualifications now in your prime, if you are in your prime and watching this, to get with the guy who you know that is going to reach, or maybe has already reached his peak, but you know it's going to reach his peak, and you all can just, go on with life having that proper balance. You don't want to be the person looking for a guy that does not exist, like the women in that joke, waiting for a guy in his 30s to be an exception to the rule, especially if you're not an exception to the rule yourself. So thanks for tuning in to Mrs. Danielle DeVita. I do live streams every Tuesday and Thursday, so you are able to go to the next live stream on Thursday, and we'll be talking about something. If you have a particular topic that you want me to talk about, you can listen there. I'll be doing recorded videos, so you can watch on that. I'll try to go back on Instagram and to do some more very short 1-minute clips as well. So to know more about my content, you can go to mrsdanielledevita.com. All right. So thanks for tuning in, you all. I thank you, Instagram, for taking the time to listen in. You all take care. Mrs. Danielle DeVita back with another video. I overheard someone say that marriage is overrated. A lot of women say, I like the strong silent type. Well, a lot of men like the feminine silent type. And for sure, it's going down. So a lot of times people are not getting the value. When to speak and when to be quiet is one of the most powerful. She's going to be aggressive thinking that. And as someone who's been married for 12 years, he's driven, not lazy. And this will make yourself and get on the right path. That understand that you might be doing a disservice to your daughter. If you don't help her understand vetting and proper decision making, now she's going to be a basket case later. If you don't help her understand emotional intelligence, she's going to hold on to a lot of emotional baggage. If you don't. We live in a world where femininity, marriages, family, and courting is no longer valued. We live in hookup culture, situationships, and struggle love. The number one reason women struggle in long-term relationships, number one, femininity, and number two, staying in a relationship or entertaining people longer than the woman should. My name is Danielle DeVita, and I'm a relationship and femininity coach. I've been married for 12 years, and I want to help you get on your feminine journey and vet for the right man today. For more of my content, you can visit mrsdanielledevita.com, or you can go to YouTube, Instagram, or my Facebook page. Get on your feminine journey today.